This river is part of the Duffins Rouge Agricultural Preserve. It feeds into the part of the Greenbelt just a short distance from here that Doug Ford is opening up for housing. As we told you yesterday, some of the best farmland in the country will be paved over. Tonight, we take a look at the impact on the local wildlife. From under the water to high in the air, Duffins Rouge Agricultural Preserve is filled with hundreds of species, like eagles, deer, salmon, and these wood frogs who gave this symphony a few days ago. This 5,000-acre area was protected until the Ford government repealed its preservation last November.
We're going to build homes, and we're going to build thousands of homes.
All this will be paved over. Robert and Jean Hilscher are birders.
This is a corridor. People don't realize that, but millions of birds are flying over, and they're tired after flying over Lake Ontario. And one of the key places that they look to come down because of the right vegetation and food is here.
Protest signs abound, but Robert has started his own protest on social media. He's posted photos for the last 157 days in a row, showing the beauty he and his wife have discovered through their lenses.
We're the only ones that can speak for what is actually going to be destroyed.
You can see there's dozens of nests in there.
Victor Doyle was the lead planner when the Greenbelt was created almost 20 years ago. He believes this rare rookery, a nesting ground for the great blue heron, is in peril. The swampy land it's on won't be paved over, but the surrounding property will be.
If you urbanize, it won't survive.
Doyle fears salmon and trout won't survive either.
The contamination, mainly from the runoff from all the pavement into the rivers, does two things. It warms the water, and these are cold water fish, so they need cold water to do it. And secondly, the contaminants kill the insects which the fish feed on and need to survive.
It's all connected.
That's not the Greenbelt. That's just a field with a bunch of weeds.
Doug Ford maintains not all of the Greenbelt needs to be preserved.
Previous government literally got a bunch of staffers in a room with a bunch of crayons and highlighters and randomly just went on a map. No rhyme, no reason.
This week, Environmental Defense released a report that concludes 33 species already at risk, like the red-headed woodpecker and the monarch butterfly, will suffer if housing is built on the Duffins Rouge Agricultural Preserve. CityNews asked the Ford government if an environmental assessment was done before it decided to open up the area for development. We did not receive an answer. Public consultations showed the vast majority who took part were overwhelmingly against the government's changes to the Greenbelt, from conservation authorities to Indigenous communities to environmental groups. The report notes the home building industry, however, did support opening up the Greenbelt.
The Greenbelt was to protect land that we need to sustain the natural functions of this greater region. And removing lands, including this 5,000 acres, is really going to negatively impact that, and it's setting a precedent for biting off chunks of the Greenbelt bit by bit.
Doug Ford's plan for housing is literally right across the road from Rouge Park. This is North America's largest urban park. Last month, the federal government announced it's going to launch a study to assess the impact on biodiversity and at-risk species in this area, and warned it could shut this whole housing plan down. Doug Ford responded saying he's not too concerned. We will continue to follow this story.